served 15 years, right through the trauma-heavy era following 9/11, and then he was dishonorably discharged because of one violent episode tied to undiagnosed PTSD. He didn't want to be filmed. He didn't give me his name. But he gave me permission to share his story, because even without a name, his story matters. I was walking downtown in a neighborhood I visit often for outreach. I saw him standing beside a dumpster behind an old laundromat. He wasn't panhandling. He wasn't talking to anyone. He was just existing, staring down at the pavement, wearing a faded USMC hoodie, combat boots tied tight, the kind of man you knew had once been proud. I introduced myself gently, told him I worked with veterans, and that's when something unexpected happened. He said, "I don't want to be recorded. I don't do interviews, but if you're actually listening, I'll talk." I said, "I'm listening." We sat down on a curb, and that's where this story begins. He told me he joined the Marines at 19. He served 15 years, multiple deployments, Iraq, Afghanistan, humanitarian operations in the early 2000s. He was there when the towers fell, September 11th, 2001. He said, "That day changed everything, the fear, the rage, the mission. It all shifted. Like so many others, he signed up to serve with honor. But what he didn't know, what none of them knew, was how much trauma would come home with him. Sleep was never restful again. Loud sounds made his heart race. He started having outbursts, isolated himself, stopped trusting anyone, even his brothers in uniform. And worst of all, he didn't know it was PTSD. He thought he was just losing it." He said, "There were no mental health briefings. No one told us what trauma looked like. If you couldn't hang, you were weak." Then came the breaking point. He didn't share details, only that one night on base, after being triggered by a sound, he lashed out. Property was damaged. A superior officer was involved. No one was seriously hurt, but it was enough. The military didn't ask why he snapped. They just wrote the report and stamped the discharge. Dishonorable, 15 years of service. Gone. No pension, no VA benefits, no honorable mention, just a label that made him invisible. He said, "They threw me away like a busted rifle just because my brain broke before my body did." He tried to go home, but he said his family didn't understand. They just saw anger. They didn't see the ghosts. He applied for jobs but couldn't hold them. No one wanted a dishonorably discharged Marine. No employer asked about PTSD. They only saw the label, "Discharged, not recommended for rehire." He couldn't get into a VA hospital. He couldn't get therapy. He couldn't get meds. He said it was like being locked out of your own house. So he went to the streets. And he's been there ever since. Here's what broke my heart most.